When putting together various projects, I found myself using an image of a television in multiple videos. I wanted to have a specific program or image showing on the TV, so I needed an image where I had a TV where the screen was transparent. Pixabay had some images of TVs with transparent screens, but most of the time it was either never the TV I wanted or the look I wanted. So to solve this problem, you just make it yourself. Here I have an image of a smart TV on a stand in a room. I want to show something playing on the screen, so I'll need to make the TV screen transparent. First, I'll zoom in on the TV so that I can really see the borders, and that's going to be important when you see what we're going to do next. So now I have this giant TV screen in front of me with borders. Now we haven't done this before, but at least I don't think we have, but I'm going to select the pen tool, which is right here. So I'll select the pen tool, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 nodes around here. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to click here, and click over here, click up here, and then you have to close it up. So you have to click on the last node here. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of all of this stuff inside of the TV. Now, when you, after you're finished, really what I'm going for is to get rid of all the black and to have as much of this rim in there as possible so it really kind of looks like a TV. So you can change these nodes if you want to, just by going back to the pen tool and clicking on this little arrow and then click the node tool. And once you click the node tool, what you can do is you can move these nodes around. So like if I feel like I need to move them over a little bit, or in this case on the bottom, this one is a little bit too high because it's got some of that black in there and I don't want that in there. So we'll just adjust the nodes until we get kind of what we want and make sure there's no more black in there. Then once we believe we got what we want, then you need to go back and click the pen tool again, because what we need is we need the selection button so we can get our marching ants. So we'll click the selection button right here, and now we have our marching ants. So after we get the marching ants, now we can go to edit and then do cut. And that's going to cut that piece out of there. Then to get rid of our marching ants, we go select and deselect, and now we've got a transparent background here. Now this video is about templates. So, well, let me make this to where you can see the whole thing. So this is what the thing's going to look like. This is the template I want, because what I want to be able to do is to use this template over and over again so that I can put different images on this TV if I want a TV within a room like this one. So I'm going to now save the template, and then in order to do that, what I've done is I have created a folder on my desktop to put this thing in. You can't put it in the templates part of the program unless you have it in a folder. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'm going to go File, and then down here, I'm going to go Export as Template. So when I hit Export as Template, and then, I don't know why, but it went back to the TV templates. Here's my desktop right here so you can see what I mean. And down here, I have this empty folder that I made that has TV templates, and this is where I'm going to dump this thing. Notice that it's an Affinity file. That's the way it's supposed to be, because that's the only way you can drag it back in and mess with it. So we open our templates folder and then we save it into our templates folder. Okay, so now that our Affinity file is saved to its own folder, we can close this thing out. So I'm going to close this. And I'm just going to say no. I don't know why it asked me that. Then I'm going to go to File, to show you where the templates thing is, and New. And remember we've used this a couple of times before, but we've only used this part. But what we want is templates. So we're going to click on templates right here. And notice that I have nothing in here because I have not put any templates in here until now. Now what you want to do is to go down to this tiny little box that has a little plus, and it says Add Folder. So you're going to click on the Add Folder, and you're going to go to the desktop, and you're going to select the folder. You're not going to select the file. Notice when I had it open, it said there was nothing in there. And that's because it doesn't understand it. The only thing it understands is that you want to add a folder. So we click on the folder, so you're going to select it and then hit Select Folder. And that will bring the folder in here. And right here, you'll see that our template is in here. So if we want to use this over and over again, then this is what you need to do on here. Okay, so now that you know how to do that, we can export this to the desktop as a PNG for our new project. Okay, so we want to open this, and it will open back up again. I just double-clicked on it and opened it back up. So now what we want is a PNG file so that we can use it later on. Then all we have to do is to go File and Export, and then we can export it as a PNG file. So now we'll have our template and we'll have our PNG file that we can bring in later on if we want to do that. Okay, so we will do that now, and you'll see why later on why we're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to export out here. It's going to ask us where we want to put it, and this is our, I'll just say TV screen. I don't think I have anything out here that's named that. Okay, so TV screen, and it's going to save to the desktop. So pretty much now what we have is we have a PNG saved to the desktop, and we also have a file in there that we can use, or a template of this in there that we can use over and over and over again. Now the question is, what can we use this for? Remember the soap opera As the World Turns? Here I've imported my TV PNG and a film clip of a rotating Earth into Camtasia. Now you know why I needed to export that PNG out. After the film clip was resized behind the image, it looks like you're watching a rotating Earth. If you don't like that one, here's another example using a moving police car clip instead of the rotating Earth. Not sure if this is chips, but you kind of get the idea. Not every image is a perfect square. Take a look at this image with a vintage TV. At first, I tried to use the selection tool. Remember this over here? We've done that several times. To get rid of this screen. But when I tried it, the edges weren't really as smooth as I wanted them when I tried to cut out the screen. And then when I selected the refine button for it, it didn't refine as much as I want. So, once again, I'll use the pen tool. I'll just have to use some extra nodes for this one, that's all. So again, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There we go. So I can pretty much get a beat on things. Okay, so I'm going to do what I did with the last TV. I'm going to select the pen tool and then put nodes around this particular TV screen. So it doesn't matter where we start. I'll start up here and make sure that what I want to do is to get rid of all this black, but then when I did a practice run the first time, I found I don't want this really light part around either. So we'll just start and put the nodes around, and then we'll see how it shakes out. And remember, when you get to the end, you've got to click on the first one because it seals it all up like a circle. So now we have our nodes, and I have a feeling I'm going to be adjusting some of these. Okay, now I want to try to adjust them. So we're going to again go to the node tool right here and move some of these around like this one, because it's going to show a lot of that white rim, and I really don't want that. I didn't know that until I did it the first time, and it looked pretty strange. So, although when you zoom out, it doesn't look as strange as you might think. So I'll just move these out a little bit. If you need to add a node, you can do that. All you have to do is go back and choose the pen tool and then add another node, because since we close this off, it won't start drawing weird things. Okay, so let's move that out a little bit. This might be good enough for us. Oops. Okay, let's move this node down. I guess I didn't mention this, that you could move the nodes up and down around the line. Okay, so now that we have what we want, I will need to do the selection tool. So that means I need to go back to the pen tool so that my selection button will appear. So here my selection button is going to appear, and then I'll do edit and cut, and that will cut all that out. So now I don't want my marching ants anymore, so I'll do select and deselect, and I have my TV. So let's zoom out of this so we can get the whole thing on the screen again. Alrighty. Okay, so now we have another template. Now, what you want to do is you want to do it the same way that you did it before, and you'll just go to File and Export as a template, because basically we're going to be storing it in the same folder. So you go to Export as Template, and then you will go to File and Save. This is Vintage TV and Vintage Room 2. Okay, and then Save. Now this is saving to my folder on the desktop. Notice up here it says Desktop. So we'll save here. And to make you believe that it's actually gone into the templates folder, let's just close this. And we'll say no. And then go to File and New, and go to Templates, and see if it's in there. And there it is. So basically these two images are in my TV templates folder. If you do more templates and they're different, like, I don't know, any other kind of templates, like what you would use on YouTube templates, then you would just have another folder and name it YouTube templates, and then it would appear here. So you can pretty much save, I don't know if there's a limitation on that. I'm probably not going to have a whole lot of templates. So here now we have two TV templates that I can use. Oops, didn't want to do that. Because the reason I didn't want to do that is because I want to open this thing back up. So now what I want to do is to put something in back of this TV. So now what I'm aiming for is we're going to have two kids watching TV. I hadn't planned on putting the two little kids in, but I did anyway. So we're going to go to File, Open. And this time we're going to go to an image. And the image I want is I Love Lucy. So we're going to open that up. And now, of course, remember now we have two tabs. We have an I Love Lucy tab, and we have this tab over here. So we want to copy this and then click on the other tab and then paste it. And then it pastes right on top of this. So now we can resize it to get it in front of the TV, like that. And once we get it in front of the TV, remember that this layer on top is going to mask over the layer on the bottom, so we're going to have to move this down here. And now we've got our Lucy show on TV. So let's move this around until we get it the way we want. We'll get Ricky in there more. And so now we can watch TV. So we have our antique TV set watching an antique TV show. Now let's go out here and let's find these kids. So we've got these kids sitting, children sitting, and we'll copy this too. Edit and copy, and then go back to our this, and then edit and paste. And now we've got our kids, or three kids, are going to be sitting in front of the TV once I resize all this. And I got these kids, they were sitting in the grass, so they still have little green butts. So we want to put their butts down here so you don't see the green grass. I did this sort of quickly. So now we have these three little kids watching a TV show they probably don't even know. And that is how you can use this particular template. Now notice that these kids, you're probably going to have to do some extra work on them because right now they look like they're sort of floating. I don't know if you kind of understand what I mean, but they're going to have, it'd probably be a good idea to clean this up a little bit and put some shadows on them so that it looks more like they're really in the room and not just, see there's the grass, we don't want to do that, but I can hide that. Okay, so this is how you put an image on our template and how you make yourself some templates that you can use over and over again. If you have a YouTube channel of your own, you might want to try to give this a try for your thumbnails. I don't do this. I use Canva for my thumbnails, and I haven't tried Affinity Photo for my thumbnails. Generally, my thumbnails tend to look alike, but not that much. I might give it a shot later on. A big thank you for those of you following my journey to learn Affinity Photo 2. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified when my next video drops.